Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm gonna record and drive for a minute. I wanted to make a response yesterday, but I was so sleepy that I would have been just like talking out of my head. But I want to thank all of the new subscribers and all of the old ones too. Y'all are awesome. I am so grateful for all of the encouragement and the DMs, and shout out to AJ, because I feel like this is like that you're like a catalyst, and it's like all of this influx comes behind you, so thank you so much. And I'm just grateful about the times that we're living in, right? Like, we live in some incredible times. So I want to talk about that Anunnaki dream video. Someone sent me a question yesterday, and they asked me, how will you know when they're here? And so my response, I decided to do a video about it so that everyone knows they're already here. The mere fact of me seeing them is just like them deciding to show themselves to me, or me being on enough, let's just say, like on a level where I can see them temporarily. And I think that because the dream itself, that video, the original video, is 4 years old, and I literally recorded it the next day. So it's 4 years old, and I think that at the time that I was having that dream, that I was seeing something that was futuristic. However, they've been here, and we are going through judgment as we speak. And so my explanation behind that is that we are multidimensional. I said in the second video that Mother Nature herself is conspiring with this reset, along with other outside beings. And some of us are also, while we are in our human bodies, some of us are also taking place in the judgment. Some of us are also taking a part of or role in the reset and the judgment, right? They are already here judging souls, and it sounds, real morbid and everything for people to hear. They don't want to hear about death, but we are in a death cycle, and the thing that got that death cycle going is the arrival of the Anunnaki, and also the reset of Mother Earth. And so if you're paying attention, COVID is like a little cover-up, right? The whole entire quarantine thing is a cover-up. But you can't cover up. You can't cover up something like that, right? It's just like, I don't know if y'all noticed or whatever, but when people started dying and stuff, well, not necessarily dying, but like when people were dying, no matter what they died from, everybody's death was listed as a COVID death for a minute, right? Whether they had COVID or not, like it was just listed as a COVID death. I slept with my window open last night and the temperature dropped, so now I got like a sore throat and stuff. But anyway, the cover-up is the fact that you have people who are young that are dying. This is how you know we're already in judgment, right? You have people who are very young, like under the age of 18. You got people up to 20 and something like that, where they're just falling out this earth, right? You have the old, which are expected to die, so no one really cares, but they're still going out quickly. You have people who are middle-aged, people who are my age, like, I'm not middle-aged, but whatever. You have people of all, this gas light gonna come on and everything. I can get there and back. You have people of all ages that are dying. You have people of all ages that are going out this world at a rapid pace. The death toll is not about COVID, it's about judgment. And if you are paying any attention at all, you will see that a majority of the news channels report the exact same thing. Unless you happen to be looking at your city news, then yeah, you might see stuff that's local to your area, but there are strange things happening all over. There are forest fires going on, there's flooding going on, there's tornadoes going on, and they are here to destroy and to set things straight. And what happens is all of that kind of like builds momentum over time. And so you will see the death toll rise over the next few years. Time is something that is not really real, and it's only relevant to us humans that are taught about time. And the prime example of that is you have time, and then you have CP time, right? All people of color don't give a crap about time. They just, if you say 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock is the same as 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like, you said be there at 8, we're gonna be there at 9. And that's just how it is. We have no concept of time. There's just like morning, noon, or after. Morning when the sun up, or you know what I mean, afternoon when it's up high, or in the evening. Like, we don't really care about time too much. And that's because in indigenous cultures, time is not a thing, it's not a concept, right? It's just something that we're taught in the Western world to be on quote unquote time, to be on a clock. It's not relative, and it's not linear. Linear in the sense that you think that today is, what is today? July. I don't even know what the date is. I think it's July 22nd. It might be the 23rd. See, I'm real bad about time. It doesn't matter until I get to work and there's a little calendar there in the bottom of my computer. That's all I care about. Because I'm not going to remember what day it is. It's Friday. Happy Friday, TGIF. But anyway, you get taught that this is a calendar, even though we live on a Gregorian calendar, right? You get taught that a month is this long and a day is 24 hours long, and da-da-da-da-da. Like, it's all something that's ingrained into your psyche. So you think that time is real. So you think that we're one-dimensional, living on a linear time, and that's just like it's not true. We are multi-dimensional, and this is why I say that some of us are already taking part in this judgment. We are already doing these things. We are already assisting the Anunnaki. This is a time of prayer, because as you pray, you fortify your spirit. Your spirit is hosted inside of a body, right? Your spirit is hosted inside of a body and everything, but it's not confined. It's multidimensional. And there's things that our regular two eyes can see and things that our regular two eyes can't. There's things that our third eye can see, and sometimes we perceive it, sometimes we don't, right? Really, me seeing the Anunnaki being here and judging people in the way that they did is me seeing it with my third eye. Your dreams, your visions, and all that stuff, it's all things perceived by the third eye, right? And so you gotta understand that the judgment is taking place now, and the reset will follow behind it. The rebuilding will follow behind it. We have the ability I have the ability to be sitting here driving this car, and I also have the ability to be fighting at the same time. Different spiritual entities and things like that. We all have the same abilities. We're just taught that we don't. And we're in a time of awakening, and this is how you know that they're on the planet. Because as they continue to fight, as they're fortified by our prayers and by our thoughts, because that's also power, by our words, as they're fortified and they're fighting against this, I don't like to use the word darkness, because I don't feel like darkness is all bad. We're created in darkness. We come from darkness. That's what the universe is. Dark matter, right? So I wouldn't demonize it. It's just opposition. It's just opposing forces, right? Things that would keep us down on 3D. This is about ascension up into the 5D level, right? It's about ascension. And so I was saying to someone yesterday that Jesus said in the New Testament somewhere that he was, when the disciples asked him where was he going, how are we going to know when you return? He said, I go to prepare a new earth. And you will know when we reach, well, he said it in a code way, so you wouldn't know it, but he said when you see the man with the water barrel, right? Or a man bearing water, which would be Aquarius. So we are leaving Pisces and going into the age of Aquarius, which is the water bearer. So illumination is happening. The truth is going to come out, but it's up to us to live in a righteous way. It's up to us to change our way of being and reset, in a sense, like return to our natural ways and then rebuild. Because this is just the beginning of destruction. The death and stuff that you see, the people that are leaving is just the people. Like a lot of these structures, physical structures, buildings and things like that, they're gonna come down too. It's just, you'll see it happening. The political unrest that you see happening right now all across the world, they're just the beginning of birth pains. It's just the beginning. This age of Pisces is leaving and we're going to Aquarius, and there's seriously nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. You just need to get in alignment. And so I'm not going to talk my whole way to work because that's a long time. But the reset is happening now. The judgment is happening right now. And within the next, I feel like in my spirit, within the next 5 years, we're going to be living like in a different planet Earth. No kidding. The things are happening rapidly. People are awakening rapidly. And that means something. Because I've talked before about groupthink. For the past few centuries, you've had people on this Christianity groupthink. And the opposition to that, or I guess, what's the word I want to use? I don't know. You have Islam, people on the groupthink of Islam, maybe even the people in groupthink of Hinduism. Religion has been a groupthink thing where people are thinking on the same level, and therefore you continue to get the same thing. But this ascension, with us rising and getting on higher vibrations and seeing the error in our ways and seeing the things that are wrong and the things that we need to change, when we all elevate, groupthink has the power to change everything about how we're living. All of the separation and division that we've been experiencing from the languages that we speak, from our skin colors, from our cultures, from our races, from our regions, our dialect, our financial status, or our social status, etc., all of these stupid little divisions are going to be no more. That's what we're talking about when we say New Earth. We can't live on 5D with 3D mentality. We can't. And so, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to talk the whole way to work. But I wanted to put that out there. We're multidimensional and it's happening right now. The reason you're awake is because you're already taking a place of it. You're already playing your role in it. It's already taking place right now. Anyway, y'all have a great day. I'm gonna rest my throat, rest my voice, because I need it today. Have a good one.